Hello, Miss Treadway here. We are going to be continuing talking about our isometric sketching, and today I want to demonstrate how we draw isometric sketches using what's called the box method. So I have my isometric graph paper here, and what I'm going to do first is construct a box. So this box method, we always start with a box and we cut away what we don't need to get the picture that we're trying to draw. So I'm going to start by sketching with my construction lines a box. Okay, so on my isometric paper, I now have a box. And what I'm trying to sketch is this picture on the left, this kind of doorstop, whatever we want to call it, shape. So what I need to do first is identify edges and where they need to be. So I have this slant on the side, so I'm going to identify approximately where those edges would be. And so I'm going to estimate that here would be about one edge of that slant, and down here would be the other edge of that slant. And so now I'm going to connect those lines together. And I have now cut out this part of our imaginary box. So those are my construction lines. They're always a little bit lighter. So now I need to use object lines, thicker lines, to outline my object. And so that is going to be this part of our box that's left over. And we want to darken those lines. And now I need to add shading. So remember, everything that is on the same plane gets the same shade. Now all of my planes here are on, none of them are on the same plane, all of my faces here. So everything's going to get its own value for darkness. And I now have an isometric sketch with shading. All right, we're going to do one more example of using the box method to do our isometric sketches, and we are going to use this one on the left. And this time, because this one is made out of blocks, I'm going to use my isometric paper to make sure this is drawn in scale to units that are in this picture. So for starters, this picture is 4 blocks high. So when I'm drawing my box, I'm going to make sure I'm going 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is 3 units in depth. So I'm going to go 3 units in depth. And it's kind of hard to see because it's broken up, but I have 3 and 3 in my width. So that's 6 total. Okay. And that's going to be the same across the board. And I now have my box. So the next thing I need to do is draw my edges. So starting from the top, my first edge is 2 units out. So I'm going to go 2 units out and draw this first edge. And then the next one is a unit down and to the right. So I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 1 and have my next edge. And then my last edge is 1 up from the bottom. So I'm going to draw that here. So I have my edges now, and now I need to connect them. So there's one edge, other edge, and then this one is a little bit more narrow. Okay. And then the last thing I need to do is account for where the block is concave a little bit. So 3 units in, it goes into and out the 3. And it goes up. So I actually need to redraw this construction line because I did not draw it accurately, and that needs to be there. Okay? And we don't erase our mistakes and we don't erase our construction lines. So now I have the outline of my object, so I need to draw my object lines. And remember, those are just darker lines. We don't erase our construction lines. And I now have my isometric sketch. And the last thing we need to do is add shading. So everything on the same plane gets the same shade. So this and this are on the same plane, so they get the same shade. This piece and this tiny piece are on the same plane, so they get the same shade. And I'm going to leave the top white, and so this will get a nice light shading. Now obviously I'd like you to be more neat with your shading, but for the sake of time, mine is a little bit messy. Alright,